everyone, welcome back to the Half Soybean channel. My name is Sharon and I genuinely hope that you are all doing well today. I wanted to come back to a regular thrift flip. I have this top over here. It's like a granny's, like, what is this? Chiffon, like button up top. And it is a couple of sizes too big for me. And I thought this would be perfect to make that really cute but impractical top. A while ago I did make an Instagram poll about whether or not you guys wanted to do this, or whether or not you guys wanted to see me make something like this, and a whopping 94% I think of you said that yes, you are ready to become an Instagram model. So I am here to deliver what the people want. Yeah, look, I don't know, it's so cute, but also I'm not like 1000% on this top. So off we go. I don't know, I feel a little bit bad because it's so cute as it is. I think it might be easier for me just to cut it like a square neckline out of this top as it is, and then finish off those edges with a very close zigzag stitch. You could probably make this with any top you have at home. It doesn't even necessarily have to be sheer, but right off the bat I knew it wasn't going to look exactly like the inspiration photo just because the sleeves aren't puffy enough, and I know I could have taken it off and made it bigger, but I'm way too lazy for that. This chiffon was pretty hard to cut and I need to buy a rotary cutter pretty soon, I think. I tried to make sure that it was folded properly through all the layers, but even so I still had to cut an adjustment to the back layer. Then I put it on my mannequin to see what I wanted to do next with it, and I thought that I would cut off the button plackets and close off the front seam back up again. Then I carefully took the excess fabric off the shoulder seam as I didn't cut right up against the seam during my first cut. Because we cut open the front, like we cut the buttons off, I'm going to close that seam back up again with my overlocker. I'm winding up some white thread for my bobbin. I reinforced the armpit seam and stitched in the ditch where the two seams meet. Then I also reinforced that front seam that replaced the buttons with a straight stitch as well. You might notice something a little bit different. I did cut my hair. In my last video when I said I wanted to cut my hair, I meant wait for a professional to do it at a salon, but you know what? I was just having a little bit of a crap day and I was like, I'm gonna do it myself. Between yes or no, 76% of you said yes. So I just want to say thank you for supporting my impulsive lifestyle. I do have a lot of hair, so we're going for this like human onigiri, like the triangular sushi vibes today. Since I want to finish off the raw edges with a zigzag stitch, I'm testing with a scrap fabric with stitch settings that work best for my machine. I tried a couple of different ones, but realized my default setting was the best. Then I went ahead with a zigzag stitch along the square neckline and the shoulders of the top. I have gone over the shoulders, back and front twice with a zigzag stitch, and I think it looks pretty good. I would recommend finishing off like fabrics like chiffon or organza with this type of zigzag stitch. So if you look very closely, there are these hairs trying to unravel, but now it's not going to unravel anymore because we have zigzag stitched over it, right? So now what I'm going to do is give those little edges a little haircut to the best of my ability, like as close as you can get without like cutting into the fabric or destroying the zigzag stitch, and that will give a really clean finish. I sort of wish I had daintier scissors for this task, but I don't. We are always working with a few resource limitations, but this will do. After what seemed like an eternity giving the edges of the top a haircut, it actually turned out looking really clean and professional, so I'm not complaining. My mic was off, but I'm just saying here that I will do one more round of zigzag stitching. And here I am doing exactly that. I think what I want to do is put like a rectangular piece of lining across my bust, but then keep all of the other sections see-through. That way I think it's a little bit more practical, but also like keeps that like see-through element alive. So as for lining fabrics, I do have two options. The first one is this, like, I forgot what it's called. It's like cheesecloth, but not really. That's not the right term. I'll put it up. I also have this like polyester lining fabric, and I'm just trying to decide which one's gonna look better, because I did have a look at the collar and it does seem to have like a thin white material lined inside there, which makes it opaque. I cut out a rectangle that matched the width of the top that I had, and for the height of it, just whatever is going to wrap over your bust. Then I laid it on top and cut some curves for the armpits, and also marked which side of the fabric would touch the inside of the top. I overlooked the edges of the lining pieces and just sewed it in very neatly, or as neatly as I could, trying to follow the existing seams for the sides, and for the top I left about ½ centimeter of space. I left the bottom of the rectangle unattached to the top, as I would be later applying elastic to that. Alright, so this is a quick update on how it's looking. Right now it looks a bit shapeless and questionable, but it's actually not bad. Like the stitching I've put in the lining like this. The only thing is that you can actually see the texture of the lining because it had this like hatch cross design to it on the white lining, as you can see, but I think that's alright. You'll need enough elastic to go around your body at least 5 times. Which accounts for the shoulder elastics as well. Right, so now I have stuck in the elastic. I haven't sewn it down or anything, but I just put the needle down. It's about 1 centimeter away from the edge. This is the inside, and I'm just going to pull as much as I can and sew that down. Ideally, you want to do 2 rows of stitches, one along the top and one along the bottom. Okay, so we've attached the elastic to the front. And now you want to start a new piece of elastic that doesn't continue through the armpit hole, but just sew it along the edge of the sleeve here. You can leave about 1 centimeter or so of gap, so you get that nice little frilly look. Here I am sewing in elastic along the top of the curve of the shoulder, except I changed the elastic type 3 times. I started with the flat elastic, then ripped it out, put in shirring, and then here I'm telling the camera that I didn't like that either, so I left that, and later I added in a more rounded type of elastic, which you will see soon. My mum made inari sushi, also known as tofu pockets, or in Korean, yubu choba, and they also remind me of those Vietnamese leaf hats. Next, I am putting in elastic along the back of my top using the same pull and sew technique that we used for the front part of the top. Then measure how much elastic you need for just under your bust, the entire circumference of it, and sew that in. You can mark on the inside of the fabric where you will need to sew in the elastic so it is parallel to the neckline. I did sew through the side of my finger, and after that I wasn't filming all the steps properly, so I'm sorry, but all you really have to do is measure out where you want the elastic to sit along your torso and measure how much elastic you will need based on the circumference of your torso. Then sew in the elastics parallel to each other as you have been doing. Spacing between the elastics is also up to you, but I did about 6 centimeters after the bust one. Just a warning here, if you don't like the sight of blood, please skip ahead 20 seconds. It's like the tiniest amount, but still just giving you a warning that it's coming. So here you will witness the breaking of my needle. My other hand is luckily or unluckily covering the needle as it's actually going into my left finger, but yep. It doesn't hurt too much because it is like, it didn't go through my nail or anything, but I don't know, it's just a bit numb. This has happened to me before, so be careful everyone. So I ended up grabbing a different type of elastic for the sleeve. This flat style I picked for the bodice. This one's a little bit more circular after I didn't really like the shirring or the flat elastic. Then I put in 1 line of shirring along the hems of the sleeves and tied the loose ends of the elastic together, and that should be all for this top. Hello?
How's the investigation going?
Jer, where is Sam and Clover? Oh, okay, please, Jerry, I can't do this mission alone. Where are the others?
Oh my, what's happened to you?
Clearly a lot, dude. Anyway, I paired this outfit with a pink corduroy skirt and that little bag and these pink Doc Marten sandals. Don't you think this outfit is something one of the girls from Totally Spies would wear? I'm looking for 2 other friends to make my spy team dreams a reality. Please leave your expression of interest in starting a spy trio with me. This was one of my favorite TV shows growing up.
Word down, go like you do it.